Hey lovely one, Lauren here. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you are doing really well. Today's practice is all about unlocking these tiny spaces within the body. We're actually going to start with a little bit of self-massage. So if you have any essential oils at home that you would like to welcome into your practice, feel free to bring them in. Could be anything you choose, anything that's kind of speaking to you today. For instance, I have chosen ylang ylang oil just for its sweet kind of floral scent. That's how I'm feeling today. But anything that's, as I said, speaking to you, just feel free to bring it on in. And if you haven't got any essential oils, do not worry. It doesn't necessarily matter, okay? And then for the rest of our practice, we're going to stay fairly low to the ground, but there are going to be moments when we just rise on up and just see how we feel as we plant our feet down towards the earth and grow tall through the spine. But for the most part, it is very soft, very slow, gentle movements. Beautiful. So I hope that sounds okay. So without further ado, let's take a moment just to nestle those sit bones down into the ground. Hopefully you've got that little essential oil bottle nearby. You can have a few wriggles here and there. So you might kind of wriggle through the shoulders, the side body. Just take a moment to see how you naturally bring yourselves to the mat. What is here for you right now? So we can start to close down the eyes for a moment and just notice. Beautiful. So in this first moment of literally arriving into our practice, arriving onto the mat, allow yourself to be just exactly as you are. So there's no need to shape the breath to be anything particular here. There's no need to feel a certain way or act a certain way. Be exactly as you are and simply recognize that that is enough. You might already start to soften through the shoulders slightly, release through the muscles of the face. And in that simple recognition that we are enough here, the breath already might start to slow down. Our edges might already start to soften. So take a few more breaths. Feel that gentle ebb and flow, and again, we don't need to force the breath in any particular way, but if you want to take a couple of big sighs out, you're more than welcome to do so, whatever, as I said, is calling to you right now. Maybe take just one more. Beautiful. And then keeping this softness, keeping this gentle kind of presence we've started to cultivate. Let's start to welcome in that essential oil if you are using one today. So whatever it is you have chosen, placing a couple of drops into the center of the palm. Notice how it feels as it gently drops into the center of your palm, that coolness maybe. Beautiful. You might instantly start to welcome in that scent. You can rub the palms, the hands together, and as we do this, perhaps those little droplets of oil start to disperse into the air. And continue with that slow, steady breath. Breathing in, breathing out. Lovely. Okay, and as we massage that oil into the hands, you might just kind of cup the hands in front of the face, and again, just take a few moments to drink in that beautiful scent. If you have picked ylang ylang like I have today, notice that sweet aroma entering in through the nose. And what does that scent bring you today? Does it again allow us to soften that little bit? Does it lift us up here? Does it make us feel joyful or happy? Or perhaps it's making us feel, or allowing us to feel, that little bit more grounded here. Beautiful. So again, whatever it is, notice it and welcome it in deep within. And then starting to gently bring the hands to the body. So you might just start with the neck. So you're kind of bringing the fingertips around the back of the neck. And it's up to you as always how much pressure you'd like to use today. Using the fingertips to gently feel into all those individual muscles, tendons. And how does this touch feel? We might instantly come across places of tension or achiness. Lovely, well done. You can continue working through the back of the neck, perhaps starting to run down towards the shoulder, or you might work a little bit higher up the base of the skull maybe, perhaps the back of the ear. Might even run down the jawline. And then we perhaps might come to the front of the throat slightly, opening up the throat chakra here maybe. Beautiful. Perhaps we felt recently that we haven't been able to fully use our voice. So maybe this is a great opportunity for you to open up through that space, unlocking that tiny space within the body and letting it expand, let it grow. As we open up through that throat chakra, allowing us to speak a little bit more clearly, listen a little bit more intently, and being authentic with how we both speak and hear. And then we might just focus on one side of the neck here again, this gentle stroke, or you might kind of gently nestle the fingertips in, find a place within the side of the neck or the shoulders that's really feeling nourishing for you today. And you can take your time with this, there's no rush. And remember, I'm here merely as a guide, so if there's somewhere else in the body that's calling out for a little bit of attention, feel free to lean into that. Beautiful. And as best as we can, getting that skin to skin connection, feeling the flesh, gently moving it around. In your own time, you can come on to the other side if you haven't already. You might notice a couple of differences as we shift from side to side, or perhaps similarities here. Lovely. And this whole time, just see what we feel, what we notice. And again, doesn't need to be anything too specific. Notice how it feels to connect to yourself in this fairly intimate way. How often is it that we really get this skin to skin connection, this hand to throat connection, hand to heart space connection? Feel if we can really honor our experience here. And this whole time still attuning to the breath. Beautiful, well done. Let's take a few more moments here. And then let's gently, again, bring the hands to the back of the neck. Notice that warmth that connection brings. And then start to slide the hands down the side of the neck. Again, creeping across to the front of the throat as we lift the chin up to the sky, exposing through the throat chakra again. And again, we can stroke the neck up and down, and then gradually bring the hands slightly down towards the chest. Tuck the chin slightly back down towards the chest now, finding your heart space maybe here. Take a breath in. Take a breath out. Beautiful. And then just gently let the hands fall away. They can rest down onto the knees for a moment. And again, just notice, what do we feel now? What's speaking to you now? And then our movement from here is going to be super soft, super gentle. You can keep the eyes closed as you go, but gently starting to stretch the legs out in front. So kicking the legs, the head, still keeping those sit bones rooted down towards the mat. And then bringing the backs of the hands down towards the ground, either side of the legs. Take a breath in. And as we exhale, let's start to slide the backs of the hands forwards as we take this forward fold over the legs here. Let the head hang heavy, taking a yin approach to this forward fold. So that let the legs completely relax here. Let the toes flop out to the side. And as the palms of the hands flip up towards the sky, perhaps we can still breathe in that gentle scent of the oil. Beautiful. In this forward fold, feeling the back body rise and fall. Perhaps now noticing the exposure of the back of the neck up to the sky as we allow the head to hang heavy. Over time, we might feel as though we can go that little bit further into the fold, perhaps sliding the backs of the hands that little bit further away. And as we remain in this pose, finding a little bit of stillness, again, feel that gentle whisper of the breath. And if you wanted to, you could welcome in a little sway from side to side. So really tailor this practice to suit you and whatever it is you're experiencing today. So if we need that little rock from side to side, almost like we're being cradled here, again, lean into that. But if stillness is what we really crave, the time to really sink in, again, maybe we go in that direction. But wherever you are is always exactly where you need to be. So gently breathe here. So maybe taking just a couple more breaths. Steady inhale, steady exhale. Perhaps with every exhale, diving that little bit further in, maybe. And then finally, one more breath here. One more exhale. As we breathe in, let's gently roll through the spine, slide the backs of the hands towards you, or you might flip the palms of the hands to the earth, push down through the fingertips to assist you in this rising up. And then let's gently bend through the knees, plant the soles of the feet down towards the mat, lean into the hands back behind you, fingertips pointing in whichever direction feels comfortable to you. Take a breath in. And as we exhale, teeny bit of strength as we push down through the hands and feet, tuck the tailbone under, squeeze through the glutes as we start to drive the hips up to the sky. You can keep the chin tucked towards the chest or maybe letting the head drop back behind you. Again, opening through the front of the throat, opening up through the heart space. One more breath. And as we exhale, carefully lowering the hips all the way down, but as you go, drop the left hip down towards the mat. So you kind of come to sit on your left-hand side, and your ankles come towards your right hip. So you're going to gently lift all the way up here. You're going to reach the right hand towards the top of the mat, just in front of the feet, and then sweep that left arm up and over. Big, beautiful side body stretch here. So maybe this is our first kind of deep side body stretch of our practice or of our day. So again, let's breathe into the left hand side. Feel the ribcage expand as the lungs inflate. Energy reaching out through those left fingertips. One more inhale. And one more exhale. And then as we inhale, we rise all the way up through the center. We're going to let this left hand drift down towards the back of the mat. Stretch the right leg towards the top of the mat now. And then we're going to sweep this right arm up and over as we lift the hips up to the sky. Beautiful. Roll the right shoulder back. Can you glance underneath that right arm here? Deep breath in. And then as we exhale, let's carefully lower the hips all the way down. Coming back to center, let's stretch that left leg along next to right. Let's come back into that forward fold. So again, back to the hands to the earth. Take a breath. Exhale, release into the fold. Notice how it feels to come here for the second time. And we won't perhaps be here for as long, but again, can we still dive in? Whenever we take a forward fold, it's almost like we're diving into ourselves, embracing ourselves here. So take that little journey within. Beautiful. Let's go for one more inhale. One more exhale. Now as we inhale, let's again start to rise. Slide the backs of the hands in, bend through the knees, plant the feet down towards the mat, and same again, reverse tabletop, take a breath. Exhale, push through the hands and feet, tuck the tailbone under, lift the heart to the sky, lift the hips up to the sky also here. See if we can open across the hip space. Exhale, softly let the hips come all the way down, but you kind of lead with that right hip. So right hip comes down to the ground this time, ankles towards the left hip. Rise all the way up, and we're going to reach this left hand towards the top of the mat. Right arm sweeps up and over. Again, that deep side body stretch on the other side. Beautiful. So again, reaching out through those fingertips as best as we can. Remember our breath here. So the deeper we breathe, the perhaps more we feel into the stretch. One more inhale. And one more exhale. As we inhale, we rise up through the center, gently lower right hand towards the back of the mat. Stretch the left leg towards the top of the mat. And then we're going to push down, lift the hips, sweep that left arm up and over. Roll the left shoulder back, glance up to the sky underneath that left arm. Deep breath in. And then as we exhale, again, we lower all the way down. Beautiful. From here, let's in fact swing the ankles round to one side and gently come through into a tabletop here. So slowly kind of rising on up. There might be a few little wriggles as you bring the wrists underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Or you might feel ready to dive straight into that cat and cow. So as you inhale, glide in the belly down, lift up through head and heart, lift the tailbone, gaze ahead. And as you exhale, tuck the chin towards the chest, tuck the tailbone under, round through the back, depths gazing back towards your knees. And we keep this going a couple of times. Breathing in as we rise, gaze ahead. And breathing out as we round. As always, you can set the pace for this. So if this is quite familiar within your body, you might like to move a little bit more quickly through it, but sometimes it's nice just to really slow it down. And again, take our time. Beautiful. So let's go just for one more round. Lovely. And then as we inhale, let's come back to a neutral spine. We're going to tuck all 10 toes under, push down through hands and feet. And let's start to lift the hips up to the sky. First, downward facing dog. So first deep stretch for the back of the legs, the spine. So again, there's that little bit of strength creeping in through the shoulders maybe. Of course, if we've still got residual oil on our hands, the hands might be a little bit slippy here, so making sure we're gripping down through fingertips. And as always in this down dog, you can wriggle and groove as much as you wish. Find all those teeny places of stretch here. There's just one more breath in. One more breath out. Take an inhale to gaze ahead, looking forwards. Bend through the knees, and let's just gently walk the feet all the way towards the hands. Planting the feet one after the other, coming into another forward fold here, but this time we've got the legs underneath us supporting the weight of the rest of the body, but allowing the upper body just to hang heavy. So you allow the shoulders to kind of roll forward slightly, The fingertips might gently kind of brush against the mat, or you might catch hold of opposite elbow, having that little sway from side to side. And another breath in here. And a breath out. Beautiful. Release the fingertips down, and let's take a deep bend through the knees. Tuck the tailbone under and start to roll it through the spine. Gently stacking up bone by bone. Beautiful. And as always, the head is the final thing to lift. Take a little shoulder roll here. Lift them up towards the ears. As you exhale, send them down and away. Beautiful. So there's this moment now just to see how we feel as we rise up to standing. Notice the weight equally spread between both feet. These subtle shifts forwards, backwards, side to side. Beautiful. Full breath in here. Full breath out. And then as you inhale, let's sweep the arms up, reaching all the way high up to the sky. You might glance up towards the fingertips here, and then from here, let's bring the left hand to take hold of the right wrist. Inhale to grow tall through the right hand side, and take a little lean up and over towards the left. So again, another deep side body stretch here. You can push the hips slightly towards the right hand side. It's just for an inhale. Just for an exhale. Inhale as we come through the center. Let's switch the grip. Right hand taking hold of the left. Grow tall through the left hand side and take a little lean over to the right. Breath in here and a breath out. Fabulous. Come through the center, letting go of that wrist. Perhaps again looking up towards the fingertips. Deep breath in. And as we exhale, opening across that heart space, send the hips back as you dive the heart forwards, back into that forward fold. Lovely, well done. Take a deep breath in. And take a deep breath out. And then from here, let's have a little bend through the knees, plant the fingertips down towards the mat, and we're going to step the left leg towards the back of the mat now. Carefully lowering that left knee all the way down towards the ground. You might need to shuffle right toes a little bit further forwards, just allowing those hips to sink down towards the mat. It's beautiful. And let's keep that left hand grounded. Let's roll the right shoulder back. Take the right arm up to the sky. Beautiful, well done. So letting the hips sink down as the heart rises. Steady breath in. Steady breath out. Go for one more. Beautiful. As we exhale, let's dive that right hand all the way back down towards the inside of this right foot. Coming into a little lizard. So we might kind of wriggle right foot further out towards the right hand side. You can keep the hands firmly planted underneath the shoulders again, hips sinking down. Or we might start to walk the hands towards the opposite direction of the foot. So coming round to the left. So starting to reach towards that left diagonal. And as you reach away from that right foot, let this right knee fall out to the right hand side. So you might even roll onto the outside edge of that foot slightly as we reach across to the left. Hips sinking down. Now, of course, if you wanted to, you could drop down onto the elbows, but no pressure here. Beautiful. So a slightly deeper stretch for the hips here. Let's remember that steady breath. Beautiful. If we're down on the forearms, we might again flip the palms, the hands up to the sky. Maybe we can still notice that scent of the oil. One more, wherever you are. Beautiful. Push down through the hands. We rise back up, coming back through the center. And then start to wriggle perhaps the right foot a little bit more towards the middle of the mat. Start to walk around to face the left long edge. So you're going to swing this left ankle back behind you, lengthening the right leg towards the top of the mat. And then from here, take an inhale. As we exhale, we're going to let the hips soften towards that left heel. Keep the pinky toe edge of this right foot down towards the ground if we can. And again, it might just be the forearm supporting the chest, or you might slide the elbows out to the side, let the back of the head, let the forehead relax down to the back of the hands. or you might reach the fingertips forward. So this is just a variation of our child's pose here. A little stretch through the inner thigh. Okay. Let the body sink into the mat slightly here. And send the breath to wherever you feel this most. And let's take another inhale. And take another exhale. Beautiful. Let's push down through the hands, and again, let's start to rise. So lifting the hips away from that left heel. And then we're going to lift the torso all the way up. So finding that strength through the center of the body, grow tall. Reach the arms out to the side, spread your wings here. Let's see if we can lift those right toes up to the sky here. You're going to release right hand to either right thigh or shin. Left arm sweeps up and over. Beautiful. So again, another side body stretch. Send the breath in between every bone of the rib cage here, encouraging that space. And just one more. And then exhale. Beautiful, well done. Inhale, let's rise up, find that T-shape again with the arms, and then you're going to start to bend through this right knee. So you might slide the right foot in a little bit closer towards you, sinking into this right knee, coming to kind of like a baby warrior two or a mini warrior two. So we might still feel the stretch through the inner thigh here, and it's up to you how much you want to sink the hips down. Full breath in, full breath out. Lovely. From here, let's cartwheel the arms all the way down to frame that right foot. Gently pivot on that left knee to swing the left ankle straight back behind you. You might pick the knee off slightly just to reset it. And then from here, you're going to slide this right foot back slightly, wriggle it across to the left to gently lower, right shin all the way down towards the mat. So we gently adjust into our pigeon pose. Sliding that left leg even further towards the back of the mat, so creating space for the hips to glide down. You can keep the hands down, keeping the heart ever so slightly lifted. But this might feel like a little bit too much pressure for our lower spine here. So we might also want to dive the heart forwards. As always, coming down onto the forearms, perhaps again letting the palms of the hands lift up. Or you might slide the elbows out to the side, forehead to the back of the hands. Beautiful. Let this heaviness wash over you. Feel that gentle pull of gravity welcoming you in. Every exhale sinking that little bit more into the earth soil. And there might still be this little rock from side to side. Lovely. Let's take perhaps 2 more breaths here. Lovely. And then from here, let's push down through the hands, rise all the way up. Tuck the left toes under, walk the left knee in just a couple of times. And then we're going to lift the hips and simply step right foot back next to left, back into our downward facing dog. And again, have a little wriggle, a little groove here if you wish. Lovely. Still pushing the hands and feet into the earth so we can press the belly back towards the thighs. One more inhale. One more exhale. Take a breath to look forwards towards the top of the mat, bend the knees, and again, just make that little journey all the way to the top. One teeny tiny step after the other back into this forward fold, and again, plant the feet firmly underneath your hips. And then this time, perhaps instead of letting the arms just hang heavy, let's bring the hands to interlace round the back of the neck here. So it's almost like this gentle pull on the head, so allowing the crown of the head to drip down towards the mat. Elbows close in slightly. Take a breath in here. Take a breath out. And then keeping the hands where they are as we roll it through the spine. So we bend through the knees, tuck the tailbone under. We keep the chin tucked towards the chest. We might find this little stretch through the back of the neck. Push the ground away as you rise. Beautiful. And as we feel ourselves start to straighten, there's this final moment where we can take the chin away from the chest, lift it through the heart space. Let's send the elbows out wide, maybe drive the hips forward slightly. Beautiful. Stretch across the entire front of the body. One more breath. One more exhale. And then from here, let's tuck the chin straight back down towards the chest. Close the elbows off. And we make our way down the way we came. So tuck the chin down, allow the shoulders to roll forwards. Have a little bend through the knees as you go. Beautiful. And you can take your time with this, slowly coming down, bone by bone. See if you can feel every vertebrae of the spine kind of separate from one another slightly. Once you come all the way into your forward fold, you might again release the arms down towards the mat. Take a breath. Take an exhale. Bend the knees, planting the fingertips down. This time the right leg goes all the way to the back. Carefully lower that right knee down, creating space for the hips to glide forwards and down. Let's keep the right hand down towards the mat. Start to roll the left shoulder back. Take the left arm up to the sky. Beautiful. Hips sinking down as the heart rises. You might look up towards that left arm, only if it's okay for the neck. Beautiful. Just a deep breath in. Just a deep breath out. And we dive this left arm down towards the inside of this left leg. Wriggle left toes a little bit further out towards that left hand side. And again, you can allow this left knee to kind of fall out to the side slightly. So rolling onto the outside edge of the right foot. Into our lizard lunge. You can keep the hands underneath the shoulders, or we might start to walk the hands in the opposite direction towards the right. Keeping the hips sinking down, and if you want to drop down onto those elbows, you can do. Maybe again we flip the palms, the hands up to the sky. This also helps us to resist that urge to kind of clench through the fists and hold on super tight. By really lifting the palms, the hands up, we invite in that softness even more. Okay. Steady breath in. Steady breath out. Let's take one more. And then from here, push down through the palms, rising back up, coming back through the center. Heel toe that left foot a little bit more towards the midline of the mat. Walk the hands towards the right long edge of the mat. You're going to swing that right ankle across to the left-hand side. Left leg is long towards the top of the mat here. And then we simply release our hips back towards that right heel. Either the forearms come down to, again, support the chest here. Or maybe elbows out to the side, one hand on top of the other, using that as a little pillow for the forehead to rest down on. Can we keep the pinky toe edge of that left foot pressing down towards the mat here? Beautiful. And again, sink and soften as best as you can. Allowing the breath to move through you, whether they're gentle little whispers or that big gale of air. Beautiful. Okay, on your next inhale, let's push down through the hands, and again we rise. We lift the hips away from that right heel, and then we lift the torso all the way up. Spread your wings out to the side. See if we can lift those left toes up to the sky here, and then releasing left hand to thigh or shin, right arm up and over. Beautiful. Breathe into the side body. Deep breath in, deep breath out. One more. Inhale to rise up. Find that T shape again with the arms. And then we start to bend into this left knee. You might slide that left foot in slightly. And then sink in the hips forwards and down, making sure this left knee is going directly towards the top of the mat. Beautiful. Little mini warrior two here. Have a little bit of softness through the shoulders, energy reaching out through the fingertips. One more breath. And one more exhale. Gently cartwheel the arms down. Both hands land to the outside edge of that left foot. Swing that right ankle gently back behind you, and again you can pick it up just to kind of reset it here. Slide the left foot slightly back underneath you, heel toe it across to the right, and gently lay left shin down towards the mat. So into that pigeon pose on the other side. So again, let's walk that right knee back a couple of times, creating space for the hips to sink down. And again, you can stay lifted here, or you might want to take that little dive towards the mat. Forearms again supporting the weight of the chest, or maybe forehead to the back of the hands. As always, it's your choice here, and it doesn't necessarily mean that we have to do the same on both sides. Sometimes we might want to do something a little bit different, experiment slightly. You can welcome in a little rock side to side if you wish. Beautiful. Again, can we feel that pull of gravity welcoming us in even closer here? It's always like Mother Earth calling us home. Okay. And then let's just take one more breath here. One more exhale. Beautiful. From here, push down through the hands. Again, start to rise. Let's tuck the right toes under, walk the right knee in, and then same again. Let's lift up, downward facing dog. Step the left foot back next to right. Hips go high, belly presses back towards the thighs. And let's just take one inhale here. One exhale. And then bend the knees, have this little look forwards. And you're going to start to walk the feet just about halfway down the mat, and you can actually walk your hands back to meet them. So forward fold round about the middle of the mat here, okay? And in fact, let's widen the feet slightly. So they might be about mat distance apart, toes still pointing forwards here. So it's slightly wider forward fold. Maybe there's more space for us to sway here, let go. So again, you can have this good old wriggle side to side. Doesn't need to look like anything in particular. Okay. Take another deep breath in. Take a deep breath out. And then gently turn the toes to point out towards the side. Let's start to sink into our little malasana. So we're going to drop the hips down, send the knees out to the side, and then seeing if we can lift up through the heart space here. So shoulders squeeze back and down. You can keep the fingertips down towards the mat if we need a little bit more support with our balance here. Don't worry if the heels of the feet are touching down or even if they're lifted. It's just variations of the same pose. Again, fingertips down, or maybe palms to hands come together, thumbs to your sternum, elbows to the inner crease of the knees here. And if we can, maybe finding a touch of stillness here. Sink for a moment. Lovely. Again, feel the breath move through you, and maybe it's not only the breath here, what does the breath carry with it? Is it that light, fresh energy? Feel it moving through you now, this constant exchange of letting go, letting things be, and welcoming in anything new. Okay. One more breath. And an exhale. Beautiful. Let's release the fingertips all the way down towards the mat, and then use your hands to help you to bring the sit bones all the way down. Let those sit bones softly land. You can perhaps stretch the legs out in front, so you might keep the knees bent, but let's just lean into the hands for a moment, have a little wriggle through the toes, a little roll of the ankles, or just sway the knees from side to side. Okay. Let's take a deep breath in. And a deep breath out. And then from here, we're going to start to come all the way down onto our backs. So creeping that little bit closer towards our Shavasana, this final rest. And as always, if there's anything else you want to welcome in here, maybe you want to bring back that essential oil. Remind yourself of that sweet scent. You can work through another little self-massage here if you wanted to. Or just take a moment just to get super cozy and comfortable on your mat. Okay. There might be a few final little wriggles here and there. Taking your time to find that kind of sweet spot where we can really soften and let go. And wherever you land here, land as softly as you can. So again, there's no particular position we need to be in necessarily. Find a place that feels comfortable for you, whatever it may look like. And as we start to close off the eyes and allow ourselves to drift slightly, being carried by that gentle breeze of your breath. Imagine we're kind of looking down upon ourselves now. See if you can see yourself lying on the mat as you are. What do you notice as you visualize yourself, as you picture yourself? Do you take in all of you? You see our belly rise and fall with every breath. Perhaps we can almost see our heartbeat within our chest, that gentle drum beating away. We visually see ourselves softening into the mat, letting go. And if we can see it, maybe we can allow ourselves to feel it. Feel yourself surrendering little by little, bit by bit. And as we let go, feeling supported by the mat, and maybe not only the mat here, maybe the whole earth beneath you, cradling you, holding you close. So we take a few moments just to breathe and be. Know that you can always stay here for as long as you wish, as long as time allows. Or perhaps feeling as though we have all the time in the world we can dedicate to ourselves. And if we are ready to gently wake ourselves up, take a deep breath in through the nose. Deep breath out through the mouth. And again, deep breath in. Deep breath out. And final time, deep breath in. Deep breath out. And then just gently start to wriggle through fingertips and toes. Rotate the wrists and the ankles. and move in a way that feels comfortable to you. So you might reach the arms up and above behind the head, take a stretch, or you might prefer to draw the knees in, or maybe it's a little bit of both. Do whatever feels good for you. And then when you feel ready, simply choose a side, the left or the right. Carefully roll onto that one side. And use your hands to help you as you rise all the way up. Finding that comfortable seat, so coming back to a very similar place to where we started. Nestle the sit bones down in towards the mats. Take your time as we slowly rise up here. Palms the hands down towards the knees. Slide those shoulders down and away from those ears. Closing the eyes as we seal our practice, as always, with the final blessing. May the sun bring you new energy by day. May the moon softly restore you at night. May the rain wash away your worries. And may the breeze blow new strength throughout your being. And may you walk through the world knowing its beauty all the days of your life. And with that, we bring the palms, the hands together in front of the heart. And we bow. Beautiful. Thank you so much, lovely one, for joining me today. I hope you are feeling unlocked and maybe tapped into spaces you haven't tapped into for a long time. And I hope it's left you feeling perhaps rejuvenated, refreshed, all the lovely things. So go on to have a lovely rest of your day, week, or whatever it may bring. And I'll be back with you soon for another free practice. So I hope to see you then. All right. Bye. Hey yogi, thank you so much for practicing with me. I really hope you enjoyed your practice. Just thought I'd sneak in at the end here and say, if you are wanting to practice a little bit more, if you perhaps want to dive a little bit deeper into the beautiful world of yoga, then the great news is that I'm offering one-to-ones online. So you can join me from the comfort of your home, me from mine, and we can get together either live online, or I'll pre-record some classes just for you. And the beauty of those practices is that they are tailored to what you desire. So if you're just wanting to learn a little bit more about yoga, if you're a beginner and you're not quite sure what's what and you want to get a deeper understanding of anatomy or how the body kind of moves around on the mat, or maybe you're just wanting to try slightly different practices, if you're wanting to try yin yoga, for example. Or maybe we're kind of building up the confidence to maybe return to the studio in person and we're not quite got that confidence just yet. So if any of those speak to you, or maybe it's something else entirely, do feel free to reach out to me. You can either check me out on Instagram, send me a message over there, or just send me an email, and I would love to practice with you. Whatever it is, I'd love to tailor the practice to suit you, suit your individual needs, and we can go on this little journey together. So as I say, all the details are below if you want to have a chat, and I hope to hear from you very soon. All right, lots of love. Mwah.